All
Cool.
right.
Yeah.
So here we go. We finally we got some guests on the Sauce Pod.
Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Yep.
Episode 9.
We got the I Am Champion guys here today. One is actually outside working, and one is actually inside of a car being a dad and living his best life. So, but yeah, I guess we could start off by like kind of introducing yourself. Jess, if you want to go first, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm Jesse, creator, co-creator, artist for I Am Champion. Me and Josh and Sean actually used to play Magic the Gathering and stuff like that, Pokemon, go back in the 90s. Crazy. And
Damn.
there were only like 2 trading card games, and I don't know, like we grew up, got into different things, never played really again. And then me and Josh were, trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and we had bounced around a trading card game idea a few times, and that's something that I kind of wanted to do back whenever we played Magic was, because being artists, I always thought that would be cool to be an artist for a game like that, amongst all these other ideas, and then we were like, wow, let's do the trading card game, and so we had come up with some ideas, and we kind of landed on this one where we wanted it to be as adults, we're all in our 30s, is trading card. I don't know what that does. So it was like, trying to bust in. I've always wanted to bust back into playing Magic, but we didn't even really remember how to play. And I guess we were just trying to come up with an idea of something simple that anyone can play. And we had this idea that popped in our head that like let's have a dice roll, like a kind of a kicker. You have your attack and your defense, and we have like a little kicker dice, and we were like trying to think of how we should have the game setup be, and I guess we kind of landed on just, we had this idea of people walking around with their champions in their pocket and battling each other. You see somebody and you're like, you play I Am Champion? Yeah, let's throw it down. And I thought that
Right.
card game should be. And if you ever played like Final Fantasy VIII, in the game there was like this alternate thing that you could like walk around with these playing cards, and you just ran throughout the game. You randomly ran into people, and they had cards. Y'all would just throw down. I don't know if you ever played that game.
I played Final Fantasy VII. That was years ago.
Yeah, the one after that had like a card game.
Okay.
Like a side thing.
So to kind of pull it back some, you guys all went to school together back in the day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
So
gonna start with the story of like, I remember riding on the bus to like middle school, and even we actually didn't ride the bus to high school. We lived so close to the school, we would skateboard to the high school every day. But in middle school, both of these guys would be drawing on the bus. The bus was like, up and down. You're hitting your head on the ceiling, and they're doing like full page, like comic book quality drawings. I'm like, what is happening here? This is like talent I've never seen before. And so
Sean, what were you doing?
That's all we did.
Right.
What was I doing? Yeah, that's a great question. I was not doing a whole lot back then.
Yeah, I was right there with you, buddy. You guys went to a school just like, just a few miles where I went to school. So, we kind of all knew the same people, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of cool how we all just like are here, you know what I mean? Kind of just still doing the same thing, kind of, we're always about art and creating things and business and stuff like that. So that's super cool. Everybody's doing that. Josh is out there in California living the dream. Looks like it's a little chilly as he laughs.
It was freezing last night.
Yeah.
There he goes, right there.
Your work, yeah.
it's like it's in the shade. It's like it's too cold, and then once the sun hits you, it's like, man, I gotta take off everything.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Can't imagine. Cool. So yeah, just a little context on the back end. Josh, go for it, man. Love to.
So yeah, I'm Josh Lamb. I am the co-creator and kind of a developer back end of the game. So actually, I've done art for the last couple of years. I haven't done art since I was like 23 because after like the whole Art Institute, Jessie and I think even Patrick Sheehan at the point where we're trying to get into the art school and stuff, and then I just realized like I'm not going to pay $50,000 for something that what are they going to teach me? You know, because every artist you meet is like, oh, did you go to college? And they're like, yeah, but did you use your degree to get into this job? No. And it's like, then what the hell is the point of all that?
Right.
And so I ended up switching over to film because I did mission work, and someone saw like I recorded this like mission trip to the Philippines, and I saw like this whole congregation get all teary-eyed, and I was like, dude, this is fun. Making people cry is amazing. So I decided to start doing film editing, and then I liked it, so then I moved out to Korea to pursue that, and then so I kind of gave up on art. And then it wasn't until my wife and I wanted to move here to LA that I got this job at this church doing a visual design job. And I was like, yeah, I want to get back into art. Film's kind of getting a little bit redundant for me. I don't see where I want to go with it. It's very hard. Like, film is like all about networking. It's all about who you know. It doesn't even really mean you need talent. That's why you got Sharknado 4 coming out, that kind of stuff. Like, it's really, I mean, not that that's a pretty good film, but, like, I was like, man, I'm not going to ever do this. My wife likes to do it, so I'll just let her live her dream through it, and I'll pursue art. And in that process of being a visual designer, I learned that, like, even working for a company wasn't actually producing my own art. It was producing their art. And I was like, this sucks. So when the pandemic happened and I got let go and stuff, it was like this, like, opportunity to be like, okay, let me try to do my art again. Let me go full force. And a company in Korea asked me to do a trading card game. I mean, a card game called Fragments, and it's a version of a Korean card game that's real popular there. The problem is I didn't know anything about the trading card community or the card game community. I didn't know you needed a community. Whole lesson learned.
Yeah.
Didn't make anything. Failed the Kickstarter. It almost made its goal, but it just didn't. So then came around about to Jessie. I was like, dude, Jessie's got the art skills. I need to learn the other stuff that I failed at, which is the learning community and all that stuff. So that's where him and I kind of like, I think I pitched the idea to him. I don't know how it came about fully, but he makes it sound so easy. Like, we just created a game. It's like, nah, we tore up other games first. Yeah. I think it spawned from us being kind of pissed off at like how complicated Magic was and these other games were, and then we're like, dude, we could totally create a card game. So let's get rid of all this trash, like all this nonsense, like of like complexity, like because none of our friends want to learn that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, can't go to a party and be like, you want to play Magic? None of my friends are gonna be down for that.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Looks like we lost Jesse, but he'll jump back on. He's got the same link, but. No, that's really interesting. We know a mutual friend, Tommy, and he'd always talked about you guys like going out to Korea, which was a really cool experience. He mentions that every time I talk to him, it seems like, but going out there, teaching English, I think, and then just experiencing life out there. That's probably super cool. But no, that's really cool. The idea of like the trading card game and community, man. I don't think it matters what you do. Community. That's I had a mentor, James, built and scaled several businesses and brands, and that was the first thing he told me was build a community, and they will basically build your company for you. They will build your brand for you. You know what I mean? And it's just a long process. Like, you might be able to get like a little town. Y'all remember what is that? Last Starfighter, the band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The singer, he mentioned one time, if you take over your town, you can take over the world. And like that, like stuck with me forever. You know what I mean? If you could take over your town, you could take over the world. So you start small, you take over your town, you know, you build this small community, and then it just grows. And those people tell their friends tell their friends, and it just grows like wildfire. And that was back in like 2001. We didn't have any of this shit. You know what I mean? 2002, we didn't have any of the TikToks and the Instagrams. So like the marketing and like the word of mouth was real. You know what I mean? Like AOL Messenger chat was like a thing. You know what I mean? You had to buy your internet from Walmart on a disc. Remember that?
Oh yeah, dang.
Yeah, right. Now we're here. Say that again.
Remember when the disc used to call? You ever get yours in the mail? The Internet Explorer disc, or whatever. You had to like update or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, that was sketchy.
So I think that's like the key, and that was a cool, like, I wouldn't say loss for you, Josh. I think it was more of a learn for you, understanding that the trading card or the card game industry needed a community, and so you know, lesson learned. Check. You know, you're good. Now that's kind of basically what you guys are doing. Yeah, and y'all are crushing it on all the marketing.
To dig into that Discord some more, I think you guys have built a solid community that's continuing to grow. Can you maybe?
You think so?
I don't know what the numbers are on it. You know, where they started, where they are now, but it definitely seems, you know, there's activity in there. People, I think you get valuable feedback in there that you can make iterations on. And
that's true.
I'd love to just, if you've got any more kind of nuggets there, or you want to kind of talk about that, I'd love to hear.
Discord is a funny thing because Jesse and I came into it thinking it was like, I gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I don't know what happened.
Got on like it's like a particular. We didn't know what it was really used for. We thought it was for like streamers and gamers that were streaming or whatever. But we found out that there is some communities there, and we had to build it. And we were kind of pushing against it because we're like, man, this seems like a different world than us, like more of the younger crowd or something. But you know, we tried, and we're still trying. But the community is interesting because I think out of anything we're doing, it's the hardest aspect of our business is like maintaining customer service and getting the feedback correctly, because we do love all these people who are joining, because if they join our community, they must find something interesting. Not all of them. Some of them definitely want to just come in there and, you know, just be in on the new thing kind of thing. And like, that's a little bit tough, but I think for the most part, most people have a good heart about it, and they're doing their best to try to give their input from what they've learned. And I think it's a learning. The hard part is us learning how to take their information and utilize it well, and how to discard what we think would be too much. You know?
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, I can't imagine that you so many moving parts. You know, I see. I don't know who's. I think it's like a collection of both of you guys kind of putting out all the content, but there's a lot of content. You know what I mean? And I think Jesse had mentioned that he spends a lot of his time putting out a lot of content. And, you know, you and I had, okay. So, and Jesse, you and I, we had always talked about putting out, you know, we're building a brand ourselves. And that was the main component, is just the marketing thing. Cause nowadays, honestly, it doesn't really matter what you're selling. Like, it could be shoes, it could be, you know, hats, it could be whatever it is. Marketing is like the key right there, marketing and community. And so it's like, it just doesn't, a lot of times it doesn't like happen as fast as you want it to happen. You know what I mean? Because it's like life happens, and then you were like trying to build something. So I remember we were trying, you know, we were wanting to build Outer Post, which was like a camping brand. You know, we even went camping. We like got bored and then went to Austin, drove to Austin and like hung out at a bar.
Problem because you know, people would be like, well, what are you? A camping brand? Oh, cool. Y'all sell camping gear? No. They're like, oh, shit,
no.
Probably sell camping gear, and then that opened up a whole new wormhole. And we had all these cool T-shirt designs. Like, I don't know, I made 20 different designs. doing it. But me and Sean actually had a t-shirt company when we were like early, called Dead Sick. And
Yeah, Dead Sick. Yep.
About
Yep.
learned about business. We read all these books and started studying business, and didn't end up doing the t-shirt company. But we were like, let's just do it.
Yep.
Like jumped in and got, I don't know, 2-3 t-shirt designs, and we're signing up to events and selling our shirts. We said problem. It was like, well, what is it? We're like we're like a band? No. Then what is it? We're like a t-shirt.
Yeah, right. That was great. Yeah. I didn't get to go, but you guys went to like a beer fest, I think it was.
Downtown.
And like, yeah, I was still working offshore on tugboats and at the time, and it looked like you guys were having way more fun than I was, but yeah, I remember you telling me like a lot of people were like, "Oh, what band are you guys? Like, what kind of music?" It's like not a band, So I think that's like another lesson is like trying to figure out like, okay, you have these ideas, but like think through it. You know what I mean? Like, are you a band, or are you a camping brand? Like,
you have to have a utility. You have to have utility. You can't just say you're a brand. You have to have something that the brand stands for.
Sure.
We kind of fell on that one. That's why we did Outer Coast, was because it'd be like, we kind of like remember, going camping all the time when we were young, and we really remember that we loved it. And then even camping, you need a utility. We went camping and we were like, well, what do we do now?
Yeah, it was so boring. Like, and it was like we were missing the people. Like it was just me and Jesse just hanging out, just like twiddling our thumbs. We had some beers and some food, and we were just like, all right, cool. What do we do? Like,
we didn't have like equipment. We didn't have a hike trail.
No, nothing. Like, and that's where we came up with the idea, like, of a beer brand. Like, that beer brand, I thought like could really hit off, because it's like, at the end of the day, we're humans and we're social creatures, and that was the idea that we wanted to go with a beer brand. And I had just somewhat recently left California, and was like that was still kind of brewing in my head that I wanted to start a beer brand. But yeah, no, it's just weird how things like that kind of happen, and like it's really just like learning as you go and just trying to figure out what works. And I hear it all the time now. It's like, it doesn't matter what level you're on. I feel like most of these people are still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like Elon Musk doesn't know everything. You know what I mean? He's still trying to figure it out. Yeah. He doesn't know everything.
Crazy. I thought he did.
Right. Yeah. Ask him about like Neptune, Twitter, or any other planet other than Mars. I bet he doesn't know it.
Yeah. That's one funny dude.
Yeah, he is. I like internet Elon. I like Twitter Elon. He's hilarious.
I do too. Bold and brave guy.
He is, man. He is.
And then there's like, who does have it figured out is Gary V. That dude's just like
Gary V.
We went and saw him in Austin speak, which.
That's right. Yep. Really? Jesse and I went and saw. Yeah, that was cool, man. I got to see him. Him and Sean. Him and Aubrey from On It. It was them two. They both. Yeah, there he is. On It right there. So it was Aubrey, I guess at the time the CEO. I think he like moved away from CEO. But yeah, no, I think that's crazy with how things are going, and how to even just like come up with the idea of like building a brand, and just so Sean, did you have any input on that?
No, you guys covered a lot of ground there. I mean, I think the marketing and the community portion that we're kind of like touching on is extremely important. It's probably more important than anything other than the actual product itself. The product is obviously the foundation for everything, but if you don't have marketing, then no one knows who the heck you are or what your product is.
I think marketing is like one of the hardest, but community is the hardest.
Sure.
That's what Josh was saying.
Me and Josh, Mark, it's really hard. And like we had, we kind of came up with this whole thing about being like easy, goofy back when things were lighter in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Things were lighter. Things didn't have to make sense back then. It was just He-Man and Ninja Turtles. I mean, stuff didn't really make sense, but it worked. And nowadays everything has to be like realistic and has to have all this like intense lore and backstory. But we wanted to hit this like light mark. We have content that's silly, and a lot of people don't get it, but they think it's fun. The older crowd that clicks with them because like they remember stuff. People in their 30s like the game because of the retro vibe, all the content. Like things like that. Like we have like commercials that, like that commercial I made, which is silly, but we remember advertisements like that. But community is really hard. Like we are building a community. We have people that like love our cards, and we have a guy that already collected all of them, except our old card, which is we only had like 5 of them out there. Have that one, but he had every other card, which was
that's sick,
really cool. And that's the thing that was cool about the too is that we hit this mark pretty much on the as my from the that time period, like watch Ren and Stimpy and Ninja Turtles and stuff, so we have a brand that's on point. We have a concept that's on point, but the marketing and the community is just like really what it's all about. Like it's like we thought that we'd jump in and people would just love our game, and it's actually not like that.
It takes time.
Like our game,
we don't really hit a mark. We don't really vibe with the TCG community, and we don't really vibe with the board game community. We're hitting the mark in between to like merge the two, like, gap between the two, because a lot of people are intimidated by trading card games. So but trading card game people don't really like board games. So we're trying to hit this untapped market that's there, but they don't know about it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And we thought when we first started, we thought we'd jump in the TCG community. We were looking for a community, and 50-50. Some people reject it, and some people love it. They get it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I could play my wife with this game. Wow, I've never been able to play my wife with any card game, but they like this one. And
cool.
Like parties, like when you get together and you play like the 3 to 6 player game, it's this whole dynamic that opens up that's exciting, like people just battling each other, taking each other out, teaming up against each other, and anyone can get into it, like your girlfriend, your kids like it, because it's you can be playing the game for years, and this kid that's never played can come up and beat you,
Oh wow.
It's really cool. You don't get that with a lot of games in that genre. So hitting the community is hard because of that. Community is really what it's about, and we're navigating that for sure. We're learning a lot.
Sure.
The whole process has been a learning experience for us for sure, and we're just getting better at it. Every day.
Yeah.
How would you describe the game to someone that just heard I Am Champion, hears that you're a card game, you've got your 30-second elevator pitch? Like, what is I Am Champion?
Well, we developed a game that anyone can learn and play, even if you're not familiar with the trading card game. You pick it up and play. Anyone can win. If you've never played trading card games, you can just pick it up, play. You can play with your wife, your kids, the guy down the street, your neighbor's dog. We like to joke about that. Like, you could play with the mailman,
Yeah.
It takes about 2 minutes to learn. A 7-year-old learned it in 2 minutes.
Nice.
Older people like it because it reminds them of a time period. Young kids like it because it's fresh and new, and the art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would
cool.
say it's more like a collectible parlor game for all ages.
Yeah,
Like,
people call it war with dice and stats.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
yeah. It's kind of hard because like the pitching is the thing that we kind of run into, because even in our Discord we have people who are trying to like give us advice and stuff about like making it a more in-depth trading card game, but we're like, no, we can't go that route, and we don't want to go that route. That's like because we need it to stay simple enough for my wife to play it, and I think like you said, like women like it. My wife loves it because it's kind of I think the intimidation part of getting a trading card game where you have to learn all these different rules in order to play somebody who's already learned the game and understands how to tap and turn cards over and all this kind of craziness and get to the end goal. The end goal is right there with 2 cards. You don't have to play 15 cards to get to the end goal. You just have to play that 1 card versus 1 card. You win, you lose. Simple as that. There's no like, this one's going to get stored away until the next round and this person gets used here and this abilities. So it's very simple, but yet you have enough like the characters have enough story in themselves because it's retro and they're each very different. So the game is leveled out, so it's fair. It's fair, fun, quick.
I like that.
Yeah, because
cool.
we have cards that can dominate, but then we have cards that have like what we call like a kill move, and if you roll the dice perfectly, like say it says roll one or 6, your enemy dies. So you can take this card called Killamet, which is a really powerful card we have, and you can play him and dominate, get the guy down to 4 cards, like 1 card left, and he could turn around and roll that perfect number and take him out, and bam, you won with a guy that's only like 2-3,
Yeah.
His role his role doesn't even give him more life or defense or attack, but he has this one role that you can get, and you're just sitting there like, come on, I need a 6. Come on, I need a 6.
Right.
So that parlor game, that chance value comes in, which is fun because y'all can end up having the same amount of stats at the end, and y'all have to do something called a roll off. And y'all can roll off and get the same roll off, get the same number, and then like, oh shit, like I gotta beat this guy, and then bam, you roll the higher dice, and the game's over.
Nice. Is there?
They don't understand in the TCG community is that value of fun.
Okay. I was curious if there's
strategy, and we have a little strategy, but mostly it's the roll of the dice.
I see Josh smiling. I'm not sure what.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Good question.
No, I was curious about is there like a kid version versus like an adult version, or is that something that y'all be planning on doing in the future? Like, and kind of like a more of like when I say adult, like maybe slightly on the darker humor kind of stuff, or do y'all want to just try and keep it kind of just wide of all ages, not get too crazy with it?
Wide.
Yeah,
well, because it is already for kids. Kids don't get the innuendos. Only the adults get the innuendos. Ren and Stimpy was nasty.
Oh,
nasty. But we watched it. We watched that crap.
Yeah.
Yep. Disney does the same shit. Disney has like all these like adult humor, kind of, things about them. So, but I think that's cool. I think keeping it, like you said, keeping it for the kids, but then having like these little tweaks for the adults. I think that's cool.
I'd love to dive a little deeper into the gameplay too. I'm not going to do this any justice, so I'm going to let y'all take it away. But there's like this new mat that has like this hierarchy to it. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What that's like?
Oh yeah, that's design.
So you want me to go with it? You want to do it?
It's that's like what the part of the game Josh created. Sure.
Yeah. So. The mat was because we wanted people to also be able to play by themselves, play a game that they didn't need other people to play with. Every other trading card game pretty much needs someone else to play with, and I thought, like, man, we thought what would be a simple way to create something like that, and we thought of Mortal Kombat. We're like, dude, Mortal Kombat, you just straight up fight your guy against this guy, but how can we do that with cards? And then I thought Solitaire. Man, Solitaire is like that. You're battling your numbers against these rankings, so all I did pretty much was pyramid the crap and simplify it to the point where it was like, well, we'll just go up the tower. you know. And then if your 4 or 5 cards can reach the very tip top, then you win. And I think that's enough gameplay, because what it does is allows the kid or whoever's playing to choose their top 5 cards, right? Their best champions that they want to try out. They don't even have to be the strong ones. They can just have cool abilities. And then they can lay them all these cards down, you know, upside down, like kind of shuffle them and put them in order, or the strongest person at the top if they want, and just go from 1 to 9 or 1 to 10 or however, you know, the number of cards. I think it's 1 to 10, yeah. And then see if their team is good enough to battle and win against all the way to the end. Because if it is, then they can take that team and go battle their friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you're like, oh, I just built a team that's beast mode. I'm not gonna do this, you know. And the more cards you collect, the harder you can create that tower. You can put your more difficult cards in that tower to battle against and test out your other new cards. So it just kind of fit in every way for people to enjoy. I think it's simple.
That's sick, man. Yeah. That's sick. I love how you took Mortal Kombat's approach to the tower, and then you have the solitaire. So it's all retro, you know, games that we've grew up with, and then you just implemented that into your own game, which is brilliant. I think that's super sick, man.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Developing their games. We're kind of we're trying to I Am Champion. And it was kind of hard to make it so simple. Me and Josh kept coming up with new ideas that we wanted to do more complex. We had to turn it down to our core values, and that simplicity, which was hard because we got people coming in and pitching us the same ideas we've already had. It takes simplicity. But we did decide that we had to have it like a plug-and-play. That's where the arcade version came from, the one player that developed. And so I'm developing this kind of like a dungeon mode where it's like squares all lined up or rectangles all lined up on the cards. You have to go through each like dungeon column, like that have a easy and a hard on the same card. Roll the dice before you flip the card to see which one you end up with. And you flip the card, you carry out the scenario, you play through the scenario, like say, you need a code to the door. If you roll 1, 2, or 3, you learn, you get through the door with the right code. You get a 4, 5, and 6. You push in the wrong code and you don't get to go through the door. And you can play it co-op. The next person has a chance, or you can play it by yourself and try to get to the. So you basically have to look for this key, to open the door for the main boss. People aren't just going straight to the boss. They have to go through the dungeons to find the key. And then they can go to the boss. So you're straight up to the boss, going through, like, where's the key? So basically, scenario card, get like 3 to 5 champion cards called boss cards. Card up, like out, and you have one strong. You take one of the strongest cards and you put it on the boss card. And you basically go through and you don't know which room is which. And each room you go into is when you flip the card and you find out what you're going to do. You know, sometimes you roll it like a boss card. You have to fight King Frog. And then you do the game. You roll his move first. And then so people don't cheat. And like they roll. And then they're like, ooh, I want to re-roll to get a better one. So you roll the enemy and you're like, okay, so he's set. And then you roll yours. And then you have to, if you win, you get to go in that room. And you could basically, once you emptied a room out, that card is collected, and we call it your utility belt. And at the end, y'all could add up the points of how many cards y'all have. If y'all want to, kind of like Mario, the points don't matter. But when you're playing an arcade machine, it does matter because you're trying to get the highest amount of points. So, and also, like, whoever has the key, your co-op people, if you're playing multiplayer, can go against you and get the key because the key has more point value. You know what I mean? Like, and if you get the boss card, you beat the boss, then you get more points. So if you want to be like, all right, I'm going to battle you to get this key. And then once you beat them, you get the key now. And and some cards have an item, which is like, say, a helmet that gives you +3, and you can use it whenever you want. So you're playing a hard card. You're like, all right, I'm going to add the helmet now. He's in your utility belt, and then he gets +3 during that battle. So
interesting.
It's pretty cool. Like, we're still in the development stage, like coming up, and we're going to sell that in like packs, which have like 30 scenarios. And a mat that you can play, like say it's a spaceship theme, it'll be a spaceship pack. So all the scenarios are kind of like spaceship themed, and then the mat will be like kind of like a spaceship, and then we'll have like a dungeon one where it's like dungeon theme, like with dragons and trolls and stuff. And
sick,
kind of like so you get to pick which one you want, and then you have your champion pack and you plug it in, you know. So so it opens up this whole dynamic, and that's why we say it's not a trading card game, that it's more, because we're going to have like all these other games that you can play that we're going to develop over time. And even we're going to even hand it over to the fans. Like after I'm done doing most of the art for all the cards, we're going to hand it over to people, and they're going to develop cards, and
that's sick.
They'll pitch them to us, and if we approve it,
yeah,
you know, they'll get a card and they'll have their name.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they can come up with their own game and pitch it to us. You know what I mean?
Right. Sky's the limit on that. Yeah. We have, I don't know, a little bit more time left. I'm not sure how long we're going to go with it if we're going to go the full hour, maybe 15, 20 minutes left. But I did want to kind of talk about the Kickstarter. Just, congratulations on that, by the way. I just saw it was at 14,000. That's amazing. And so, yeah, I just wanted to kind of ask one of you guys, like what's that been like, and, kind of the experience on that. And yeah, I'm really interested, and I'm just like super excited and like happy that it's being successful for you guys.
Yeah. Josh, you want to take that one a little bit?
Yeah, this is so it's been great. It's been really good. We're super stoked that we got above 10K. We got about, I think it's 5 or 6K, more than halfway funded in the first couple of hours almost. And then after that, it kind of trickled down. A lot of our people who were anticipating and waiting for it kind of bought their stuff and got everything over. But then lately, we've been learning how to market more and get more people to come back and check our stuff. Sending out updates and emails and stuff like this, which we could probably do more of, honestly. But I think it's great because our goal, we set it low. We didn't want to set it high. Some of these trading card games on Kickstarter set their things at like 50,000, 100,000, which I don't understand why they would do that, really, because, I guess they're trying to pay their artists or pay people or get paid. We decided we wanted to, our first priority would be to take care of our the people who play the game, and then the payment towards ourselves would come later, or once we open up shop online.
Yeah.
So I think Kickstarter is interesting because we wanted to I don't know, there was some hope that it would go a little bit faster, get a little bit more, but then there was also this reality of man, we just started off a couple months ago. We're 2 guys doing every single thing. Some of these teams that created these other trading card games have 5 or 6 people working there, and people dedicated just to marketing, just to drawing, just to this, but we're doing it all. And so we're super stoked that Kickstarter made it to where it's at, and it's still growing, and we still have, 40 days left or something?
Yeah.
I don't even know. And so Comic-Con, when that comes up in a couple of weeks, that's going to be a great big success for us, I think, or at least a nice bump up. And if we can get this thing up to 25,000 or even higher, we might even push out some stretch goals that might be nice, but that's if we get there. Either way, we're happy with it. It's a great success. It's cool. It's great. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. I was curious about the next, with the money, what's y'all's plan? I know we all wanted to raise at least 10 grand. I was curious, what's the next, what are y'all going to do with that 10 grand and then go on from there? What's the thing that you're looking to do?
First edition cards. We have to put out all the Kickstarter editions to all the local game stores who want it, or the collectors or the people who bought it. that'll take up a good portion of the probably like half of whatever the 10 grand was. And then the other would be going into making sure that the first edition cards are coming out and prepared, ready for people to start purchasing once Kickstarter's over with. Because it would be just terrible of us to give Kickstarter everybody, then we have nothing to go off of after that.
Sure.
So this way we'll have a couple months of the website being ready with a new, fully ready to go playing game that's not Kickstarter and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. And then you mentioned that the Comic-Con out there and where you're at, Josh, and I think Jessie told me that's like the largest one in the world or something like that. Like that's insane.
No.
It's going to be the biggest one they've ever had.
I see. Okay.
Because of COVID, it was canceled, and then
got it.
It's like a game, so it's going to have the guy who I talked to that gave me the booth or game. He said that there's going to be tons of investors. It's going to be more
cool
than I've ever had, at a LA Comic-Con. It's not the biggest one. We learned that in California, that's the actual biggest one, but it's up there in the top 3.
Wow, that's wild, man. I know it's a massive one. It being out there in Los Angeles, but that's super sick that you're able to get in there, man. Get in front of new people. It's like you're chilling. Make your booth like super fun and retro. It's like an experience. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a boring, insurance seller. You know what I mean? You don't want to like just boring. You know what I mean? You want to make it fun. You want to invite people in. I can't remember where I was at, but they made the booth like a room. And so I think y'all could do something similar, and y'all probably already came up with this idea, but you essentially just create a room of your booth so that you're able to walk in and it kind of an experience like an old school bedroom, similar to like our buddy John, the whole retro room kind of vibe. You know what I mean? You walk in, you have like the old TVs, you got the little bean bag over here, you got some like pizza over there, you just have like this experience when people come in, and it's like it's more than like just the trading card game, or it's more than the I Am Champion. It's this whole experience that they're doing. So that'll definitely be fun and attract people coming in.
Yeah, so we're gonna have our backdrop with the Kickstarter QR top.
Sick.
That don't want to engage with us can click it, walking.
Boom.
But we also want to engage we're trying to engage with as many people. So we're gonna have the game out. So me and Josh, just a 5-card game real quick, and if they win, they'll get a pack of cards, or they'll get a special holographic card, depending on what we say at the beginning. Like, all right, this at this time we're gonna do a free time, we're gonna do a rare holo card. So if they beat us, they get the card, so they can keep playing and beat us. Or
that's sick.
The first time, because that's how our game rolls.
Yeah,
rolls.
I know y'all are going to be filming it too, huh?
Yeah, we're going to be filming a lot of it, and we're going to have keep playing with like all our commercial content, and we're going to have a photo op, because that's really important, so people can take a picture. Like, we're thinking about having a cardboard card with a hole where the character can pop your.
Yeah.
And that way they can put
that's cool.
Social media, and we'll get some traction from that. We're gonna have stickers, giving out stickers, temporary tattoos. We're gonna have some dice. We're gonna have. We're not really gonna have anything for sale. So what we're doing is just getting people to get on the Kickstarter right then and there and buy
that's awesome.
At least one pack.
That's sick. Yeah, that's a good idea. Sure. I like the Instagram thing too. It's like having them like. Put it on their Instagram right there, you know what I mean? And then maybe even have like a kind of a end-of-day giveaway, you know what I mean? Like towards the end of the day, you can call somebody out that's in the area and say, hey, fucking, Bob, you won. Come get your decks, like whatever. Right? No, that's sick, man. I'm super pumped about it. And I know you are going to film it. Josh, I'm sure you already have all the equipment to make like a whole thing about it, kind of vlog style a little bit, behind the scenes, doing like behind the scenes on the short stories, like, content. That's what Gary's always talking about, dude. Just use the content for you guys, you know what I mean? And, I think that's going to be sick.
Yeah, it's going to give us content for quite a while, so we can be able to like kind of back off on creating videos a little bit. Still don't have to constantly, because it's these days with how things are, man. You have to do it every. Kind of hard to do that, especially with family.
Yep. We're struggling on the marketing as well. Not struggling, but it's just like a thing that you have to do, and like Sean and I are just wanting right now at this point, we're just wanting to be like consistent. Like, all right, every Friday we skip this Friday, super busy, but we're trying to stay committed to our podcast, the sauce, just to try and get it out there. And Gary's always talking about having like the big pillar, form of content, and then chopping it up and putting it out there into other areas. And so, even if you guys started a podcast or whatever the case may be, I think that would be really powerful. And it's like, you could just use pieces of it, we're in the B2B. So like, Sean's really bullish on LinkedIn right now. And so we can use a lot of that content on LinkedIn. We can even take like part of the podcast, transcribe it, and make a written post on LinkedIn or whatever. You know what I mean? So you can kind of curate like your stuff that you're already doing, which is really powerful. So I think that like everything that you guys are doing is super sick. Like just like literally like living it too. It's really cool. Like Josh is out there like painting on a wall right now, and it's like fucking cold in the shade, but he's doing his thing. Like, it's sick. I love what you guys are doing, and like the whole Kickstarter is super sick.
Yeah, with what we're doing too, like some people would the thing with like my Instagram and my kind of art is like it did. Where does it fit? And, it didn't have a utility. So I had a lot of people that they were like, oh, now you have something. Like, we'd go to your Instagram and be like, yeah, but what is it? Same thing with oh,
yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
It fits, and it's great because now I'm a character designer. That's really what I am. And like now I can just create characters all day, every day. If this becomes our full-time job, that's like my dream job, is to just draw characters every day, weird space alien robots and stuff. And
that's sick. I
really like that storyboarding aspect of like the maybe not storyboarding, but like how you have the galaxy kind of story that you can go through, and the different kind of stories that you can walk through. I think, like you said, the sky's the limit on that one, and you got a lot of, you can really make whatever people want, let the people choose, and, you can make whatever you want. And that's super exciting, just to be able to open up a whole new avenue there that you can create, these big stories.
It's great because we kept it open-ended by using the multiverse. So it's just, every dimension has a warrior that fights in the I Am Champion, kind of like Mortal Kombat, like how we called on all the best best fighters of the planet Earth to fight in this competition, kind of like the same concept. And, like our future goals is like make a cheesy live action kind of like Power Rangers first.
That would be cool.
Super cheap. Super, low budget special.
That would be sick.
Stuff, but do it on purpose, and remember the movie Mortal Kombat 2, instead of just having a competition, they went through this like plane of this world, and they would travel, and they ended up fighting people along the way. That's kind of what we're doing with the show that we want.
Okay.
Which is just a future goal, and also we want to have like the online game. So, we're really going to like press on that in year 1 or 2, is just try to get an online game out there to get kids that, stuck on the iPad into it, kind of bring them out of that and IRL, in real life game that they can play and get back into that, really, instead of just seeing people on a screen, actually hang out with their friends down the street and play cards,
Yeah, you mentioned year 1 or 2. I thought it's kind of crazy to think you guys have only been up and running with I Am Champion for maybe a couple months now.
Yeah.
Since I think June.
Nice.
It's wild.
So hopefully after Kickstarter, I'll start on the game, and we can have that out within like at least a couple like levels and stuff. Within a couple like maybe 6 months to a year. Because now with all the new technology, they have like pretty much the game format. You just have to draw the pieces and put them in now. Like Unreal Engine is insane. Like you could use that program. It's free. We can make a whole Zelda game in a couple months.
Yes.
Wow.
That's sick.
It's gnarly.
I had 2 questions. One might be, we could probably, carry it on later, like further on, but 2 questions. One, I know that when y'all first started this, y'all were talking about NFTs. Is that something still on the radar, or y'all just completely ditched that idea?
Well, I mean, NFTs have kind of like dropped off the planet with the economy,
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, like, we didn't want to limit ourselves, and we were having trouble navigating. We kind of wanted to just scratch that and just go IRL, and
we
do eventually want to get into the NFTs later on, like it over. We deconstructed it. We reversed it. So at first we were going to do NFTs and then go into cards, but we went cards to NFTs because like that.
I think that's a good route too. Yeah, you build up I Am Champion where it's like an actual thing, and then if you do come up with NFTs, it's like it makes sense, right? It's like a thing already.
Yeah, exactly.
And then digitally wise, all these kids are like on their iPads all day collecting stuff. They're purchasing things that aren't even NFTs, which is ridiculous to me. But to have one of our characters, and let's say his rarity is only 100 of him printed digitally, and these kids can purchase that and say, hey, I have this character and I can use him in the game, or I can trade them with other people across the world, because it's harder to trade physical cards with somebody on the other side of the planet than it is to trade online. And if we have a fun kind of like this community of people who are, kind and family-like, trading amongst each other and collecting, that would be, and bringing value to both them and the game. I mean, who wouldn't say yeah to that? But we definitely need to make sure our brand is solid and structured well enough before we jump into that and turn into crypto.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
The online versions of card games had a problem. We've heard about like cards inside the game. So NFTs would work with that because you actually own the card, So
I see.
We had this idea, I don't know if it'll work out, but like, when they buy the NFT, we ship them the actual card of that.
Oh, that's cool.
They can actually they can take it outside of their computer too.
That's cool. I like that.
We're eventually going to navigate that because we're only 2 people and we have to go step by step. So we're not looking at that stuff till later. We're thinking about the TV show being like year 2 because what popped Pokemon off was it started out as a Game Boy game and then they went to a TV show and then the card game, when the TV shows really, gave it that boost. And so we had a show that people can actually get in and build a relationship with the character and find that and know about them more and pick which ones they like the most, just like Pokemon did. I think that would be great for our brand.
Yeah, that's sick.
Community, we give them more. We always want to give them more. Like we're like, what else do y'all want? What else do y'all want? And I think that handing them over the power to make their own cards is great because now you're not just buying people's cards. You're like sitting at your house making your own cards,
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
If it's like a kind of a game itself, like you pitch your idea to us and we're like, all right, we're going to make that card, and then they get on it and we're trying to figure out how to give them a reward, for doing that. Like,
I like how Vans did that. Vans does that with their shoes. Like you can go online and design your own shoes. You know what I mean? I think, and they even have like that program or whatever where it's like artists, and then like you design a shoe and you enter it in, and like it could be like an actual shoe that they sell, which is really cool. So, kind of a cool dynamic. But we only have about 5 minutes, and that'll be the hour. We could stay longer if you guys want to, but I think the hour is pretty good. My last question was just a funny one. When are you guys getting I Am Champion tattoos?
We have the temporary tattoos, so.
No, I'm talking about a real one.
When it makes me a millionaire, I'll do that.
Maybe,
all right. Yeah.
Kickstarter over. We'll be like, heck yeah, it's a real thing now. Which
So what's this tattoo?
Mark, so it's going to be a thing,
Sure.
which is exciting. We're trying to
Sick.
get 25 mark so we can do more. Get the big first edition out there. Because right now we have a set amount. Because we had to come up with the numbers for each tier that we would hit and the amount that we would order for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we hit the 25 mark, we're going to be happy campers. Right now we're okay, we can get the game out, bare bones the game, get it just out there. But when we hit that the next mark, we're going to be able to do more. And then if we next mark, sky's the limit.
Right. Oh, and so and the Comic-Con's coming up. So how many more days do y'all have left of the Kickstarter when y'all go to the Comic-Con?
A whole month.
Oh, okay. You still have, because how long is the Kickstarter last? 2 months?
Well, you could set it for 30 days or 60. We did the 60 because of
60 days. Because of the Comic-Con. Okay, that's smart, man. Yeah, okay. I was curious, being able to get out there and still have the Kickstarter, that's sick.
Exactly. That's the strategy. We learned
perfect.
Kickstarter was at the beginning of December, so we were all right, let's not do the 30 day, let's do the 60 days, so we'll have it running during Kickstarter. That was
perfect.
And you get the flux in the beginning of Kickstarter, it gets a peak, and then we're gonna have it hits a plane throughout the middle of it.
It'll peak back up though.
People are oh, it's almost over. I can get it and get my cards now, soon. And people
sure.
And we're going to have a peak in the middle because of Comic-Con. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and we're still contacting local game stores too. And, I'm supposed to be going out there and meeting some of those guys after this mural is done and stuff. So we haven't really pushed on the local game stores, but we're going to call every single one in America, hopefully by the time. It's a lot, but I think we can do it. At least as many as we can.
Sure.
But I think we'll hit our 25. At the rate we're going with the consistency, I think, we might actually be able to make that 25. It's only actually not even 10 grand away.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So,
it's right there.
I mean, shoot.
It's right there, yeah. And and we've had 2 local game stores order already. So we have the one that that we talked to in the beginning that we met at Comicapalooza. And they kind of helped us out with how much we should be selling the game for and stuff like that.
Cool.
They're guys, so we're still waiting on them to order theirs. So we're probably bug them a few times, probably drive up there again.
Sure. So it's wholesale. You got to have a wholesale price so then they can resell it.
Yeah. 30%
got it.
Markup. That's what they
okay. 30%.
30 to 40, yeah.
Okay.
But they've already decided that they want to do designate one day a week for tournaments of our game. So
sick.
That's exciting,
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, this has been great. I don't know if y'all have any last things. I guess I think the last thing would be where can the viewers go to find more about I Am Champion? I know y'all have probably all the social media channels. What is do y'all just keep it the same? I Am Champion at I Am Champion?
Yeah, it's every platform is the same. I Am Champion TCG trading card game. So it's I Am Champion TCG for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, right, Josh? YouTube?
I think so.
And we have a YouTube channel too.
Sick. In a community.
Our website is the same thing, www.iamchampiontcg.com. And you can look it up on Kickstarter. We have the link all over every social media.
Cool.
We kind of blow that stuff up. And, it's you go to the Kickstarter, you type in I Am. If you don't go to the link, you could just type in I Am.
Sick.
It should pop up. We're usually kind of near the top of the list.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, you heard it from the creators themselves. It's 25,000 for the hit that Kickstarter. 50,000 even better.
Yeah,
yep. Right on.
We'll put all that down in the description. So let's hit that goal.
Yeah, just put links down. You know, whenever you
absolutely
go.
Absolutely.
I'll try to send you all of them so you don't have to do it yourself.
Sick.
Cool, no worries, and we'll definitely do this again. I had more questions, but I think we gotta do a round 2. You know.
Yeah, definitely round 2. Cool. We're out, guys.
All right.